I don't think anybody within Labor understands small business, and we know that
Opposition Leader Peter Dutton.
Two budgets now which have just made it harder, not just for families but for small businesses as well. In a business like this, the electricity cost in April of 2022 was about $2,500 a month. Now, under Labor, it's about $5,300 a month. So if you think about that for a moment, that really equates to the ability to put on another apprentice or to purchase another vehicle, to invest into capital equipment so that their businesses can grow and employ more people. And at the moment, inflation is not under control under this government, and as a result, people are paying more for their overdraft, they're paying more for their mortgages, people are paying more now for their cars and their utes because of the Albanese government's family car and ute tax. And we know that businesses just can't continue on if the Labor Party continues to apply more and more taxes on those businesses. It just becomes too hard to employ staff. We were at a cafe this morning. We were talking there with the owner about the additional input costs, not just electricity and gas, but also food. We know that this Prime Minister promised a $275 reduction in electricity costs. He promised it to Australians on 100 occasions. And far from delivering that, the complete opposite has happened. So this is a Prime Minister who is weak, who doesn't have a vision for our country, and has decided that he doesn't have any solution to the problems that families and small businesses are facing at the moment. There's obviously a lot going on around the country at the moment, but I think a lot of Australians are shocked to realise that in the middle of a cost of living crisis, tradies are going to pay an extra $14,000 for a Hilux ute. They're going to pay $16,000 extra for a Ford Ranger. The D-Max is likely to leave the Australian market, and there are other brands, significant brands, who will either scale back or leave the Australian market altogether. So it's clear that the Labor Party is split on this issue, and whenever Anthony Albanese talks about these taxes and attacks on the mining industry, etc., what he's trying to do is to win votes from the Greens in inner city Sydney and Melbourne. He has no regard for people living in the suburbs or in regional towns, and that's demonstrated on a daily basis by the decisions that they're making, which are really making it much harder for families and small businesses. I'm happy to take any questions.
Mr Dutton, I want to ask you about visa approvals.
Yeah.
The government says a technical issue which has deemed the visas issued to a cohort released from immigration detention invalid dates back to the period of the coalition government. Was there oversight in the drafting of this visa class, or does it create any issues here?
Well, the fact is it doesn't, and this is a red herring. The government has created an enormous mess here. The first charge of the Prime Minister is to keep the Australian public safe, and yet we know that the High Court ordered one individual to be released, and the government ended up releasing 149 people in total.